Hi everybody, it's Lisa Marie here, hanging out with Carl in the Sweet Life Garden.
How's it going? It's good to be back.
I know he's been gone. He's been gone with that food truck, selling all kinds of wonderful barbecue over there in Round Top, the festival.
That's
big
right.
old thing. I missed you, man.
I missed you too. Missed all of you.
Excited to be back. He brought me some barbecue too, and boy, is that good. I needed to be given some barbecue today because I was hungry by the time you got here to me. I've been working on real estate deals and working in the garden, and it was just exactly what I needed to hit the spot.
And North Carolina style.
And North Carolina style. It's wonderful stuff. Listen, we are going to do our collards today. Check out these collards. I've had all of my family, and I've got my priest came by, my next door neighbors came by, a couple of babies that were photographed came by and picked up some collards on their way home too. And we're going to make some enchiladas using our collards.
Interesting, but sounds good.
Yeah.
I like collards.
Well, I love collards, and you know what? I look at collards like I look at cabbage and just treat it the same way. We're going to blanch it in a few minutes, and then we're going to stuff them and roll them up and bake them up in the oven with some cheese. And it's going to be very good. So we'll see you over there in the kitchen in just a few minutes. Okay, so I'm going to tear off these ends like this, Carl. And then I'm just going to blanch them.
Okay.
In the hot water for just a minute. It won't take me very long at all. So throw that away. I'll stick these guys in there.
And there's our onions here.
They are so pretty. Doesn't take but about a minute, guys, to do this. It sure does green them up, just like the broccoli. I'm going to grab a quick little towel to lay them on.
Okay. Kind of like we were discussing with other things, it's definitely a better option to use greens or something else, some other vehicle to wrap things in, right?
I think it's much better because you're already getting your grain with your rice. And, you know, you need to incorporate as much as you can of the dark green vegetables. And if you can get the children to get adjusted to it, as opposed to the tortillas, I mean, they're just beautiful. Look how gorgeous that is, guys. They're just green, 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 and so pretty. And just this year, so much prettier than last year.
Wow.
And look at that. That's what using organic nutrients does. And then, of course, you know, I planted these with the roux. And, you know, you had asked me before when we weren't on the camera that, you know, what do you use the roux for?
Right.
And you use it for the broccoli, the basilica. So broccoli, cauliflower, Brussels, cabbage, and collards.
Right. Because the reason I asked that, though, is because I know today we planted the garlic, right? And so I was like, wow, okay, so there's certain things for certain plants, because certain plants have certain pests.
Right.
Or each plant has its own nemesis, if you will.
Exactly,
right?
exactly.
Yeah.
And you want to, if you can figure out a way to find out what the right plants are that you can companion plant with those vegetables, it might not always keep them from coming, but it'll certainly make it a little bit less of a problem for you to try to get rid of them in the garden. So what we've done, guys, is I've taken a very simple can of chicken in the pantry, and what I wanted to do is make sure that our recipe incorporated what we could just find in the pantry.
Right, to make it quick.
Right, because a lot of you guys have been asking me and Carl both to come up with easy recipes that are with things that you already have in your cupboard. And so this is a simple recipe that the kids will really enjoy. And I want you to take the chicken, the canned chicken, and a little bag of the already pre-cooked, this is brown rice that you just can easily microwave. And you're going to combine those two together. And then what I want you to do, Carl, if you will, is give me about a tablespoon and a half of what's taco seasoning, okay, because we are making enchiladas.
All right, that looks like about all of that.
That's good. You know, we don't like to measure much around here. No. And then that's about almost a tablespoon of garlic salt. And then give me a little bit of, about half of that. So this is 2 cans of the red enchilada sauce. I like the mild, you like the spicy. You can always add some of your special sauce to the top of that and make it spicier. Some of the children don't like it to be as spicy as others, but you want to incorporate that in. And then what I want you to do, Carl, is take about, I don't know, half a cup of those onions that you chopped up,
Okay.
and put them in there. And then let me give you these tongs, and you can just incorporate the
All right.
onion in there. And while you're doing that, I'm gonna wash my hands.
Okay, perfect. All right. Starting out to be good. You're starting off with good stuff. Chicken, taco seasoning, enchiladas.
Can't go wrong. It's kind of hard to go wrong when you got good ingredients going on.
Tough one, right?
Right? So what we're going to do is I'm going to hold out this sleeve like this, and I want you to put me a little dollop in there. Put me a little bit more. Okay. I'm going to take the bottom end, guys, of the stem part, and I'm going to roll it in and tuck it. And then I'm going to roll it again, and I'm going to pinch off the edges here and here and make like a little pocket like that. And I'm going to lay it into my pan just like that. Give me a little bit more. Good. And what I love about this too is that because you've got everything in it that you normally would need for a full meal, it is a full meal. So you've just made a nice, easy recipe for a lunchbox or for supper.
Right.
And this also freezes well, so that's good to know. So you can pop them in the freezer if you wanted to make a big batch. And what's nice about making a big batch of this is that the collards are ready to be picked. And I got a lot of collards out there, as y'all saw. And so making recipes that people will enjoy that can be frozen is ideal. So
that's something to speak to, really. Over these episodes, you've used a bunch of cabbage, and now you got collards, and you've had kale. But and people, think, man, but I would get tired of eating that all the time. That's not necessarily true if you come up with different recipes and different ways to utilize it, and then now you're having something natural that you grew, and you either experiment or you get creative with it, and have different things. But it's so easy for us to just go.
Well, everybody, when you say
Texas barbecue and pick up a meal,
well,
try
we
that
do
if
that
you'd like
too.
to.
Yeah, we want you to do that. We definitely want you to do that too. What's nice, though, is that you've got other things besides. Whenever people say collards, what do they think? They think chopped up in some water with some barbecue, maybe, or maybe some country ham. They don't think about taking that leaf and using it like you would
like a grape leaf
from
or
cabbage
something
or
else
grape
like
leaf.
that.
Yeah, and it's the same thing. It's just a little bit of a different flavor. And when you add the taco seasoning and you add the enchilada sauce and you add the cheese, it's really different.
Whole different dynamic.
And it tastes completely different. So I've got this tightly packed into this little container. Carl, if you'll pour that sauce on that. And then what I'm going to do, I've got the oven at 350 degrees. And I'm going to put these guys in there. And I've already put one in there. So I'm going to go ahead and pull that one out so you guys can see it finished. The magic of YouTube.
That's right.
But I take a handful of the cheese and put it down. And then right at the very end,
Oh, my goodness.
I'll throw another little handful on there, and then it'll be all done. So I'm going to stick this in the 350 for about 35 minutes. Just keep an eye on it. Everything is done. The chicken's done.
done.
The rice
Just
was
need
done. We just need to make everybody happy.
And have the leaf actually kind of tenderize and be ready to eat.
And so this is now the finished piece. A little bit more. So this is what it looks like when it's done. Doesn't that look yummy? Looks very delicious. And so this obviously needs to cool off a little bitty bit, but that is beautiful. And I know that you guys will enjoy it. I know that we're going to enjoy it, and I know that your family's going to enjoy it as well. So
that's if it makes it home.
somehow I do believe that might be true. That might be true. Anyway, listen, you guys, anytime that you come up with anything that you want us to try to cook or come up with a neat recipe for, please do us a favor and put some comments down below so that we know what we can do. You saw the garden. We'll look at the garden segment. You can see all the things that we're growing out there. Carl's got lots of meat. And we can figure out some really great way to do some neat recipe that's just a different take on what you might not have thought about before. I mean, Collards stuff like enchiladas is delicious. It's healthy.
Right.
Aside from maybe the cheese, but you know, we gotta make a little concession.
The yummy goodness.
You gotta make a little concession there, right?
Yeah, and share us. Help us to get out there. And I mean, we want to learn. We want y'all to learn with us. I'm learning. I knew that from the beginning. I knew I would. I was a little nervous at first, but I told you, I was like, hey, you know what? I'm excited to learn. I'm learning these things from the very first episode that I did with you. I think we had the shrimp and was that the shrimp and grits? Yeah, shrimp and grits.
Yeah.
That was delicious.
Yeah.
Man. But these different things, we want to know other things that y'all want to do. Tell us, comment something, and share us.
Yep.
Share.
Share and like, and don't forget to ring that bell so that you're notified when we drop a new episode each Thursday. Actually, we have our own day now that we drop our Two Chefs show each Thursday. So you can tune in for just that playlist, or you can tune in for all of them. And like I said, I hope you guys have found some value in this. I know that it's going to be delicious. I'm looking forward to having some for dinner tonight. So,
Me too.
Yep. We'll see you soon. Take care.
Bye-bye.